pointing his gun at Zeminski, and that's when Rosenbaum, who's a total scumbag, don't get me wrong,
right?
But like that basically gave the city the out they needed because they let all that shit happen.
Right, and that's a thing. You know, I wrote an article. You can go out on the website. Like we wrote an article too about the truth behind the curfew. Right, so the city says, hey, we followed all the steps legally to implement this curfew. Sheriff Beth says, you know, I'm this fucking big bad sheriff and I can do whatever I want. Unfortunately, that's not true. He can't, and you know there is a legal process they have to follow. I mean, I think we can all agree that what happened in Kenosha was fucked up, and you know them declaring a state of emergency, you know, is probably appropriate. But you still unfortunately have to follow a set of laws in order to do that, and that wasn't done properly. The city, the police, the aldermen, you know, all these people lied to the general public, and I ended up, you know, uncovering the truth. It took 2 years, but there's a pretty fucked up article I wrote about what actually happened, how that curfew was implemented. It wasn't done lawfully. You know, and unfortunately, the federal case, you know, regarding the curfew was dropped by Kim, and the National ACLU fucking, you know, dropped their case too. Um, you know, so it kind of sucked that I spent all that time, 2 years, trying to dig up all this information about this curfew, and you know, two sets of attorneys fucking dropped their curfew case. So yeah, so you know, there's a lot. We know there's a lot. You know, Kenosha told a lot of these agencies too not to write fucking reports, not to document shit, because they knew that people were gonna file for open records. So you know, there's intentionally shit that's not documented. And you know, that's where we have to rely on, you know, people like you that would know, you know, some details, protesters that were out there that were shooting video, you know, militia that was shooting video, or you know, I've talked to several militia people, and every single one of them, of course, you know, confidentially, because they don't want to be fucking known. I mean, even in Mathewson's little stupid group, the Kenosha Guard, you know, I mean, we've talked to various militia that were out there, trying to get, you know, better information, which, you know, like with some of the stuff you'll send over too, where it's like, okay, this will paint a big picture of something. Now I know specifically what I need to ask for, instead of sort of this fishing expedition. You know, so that's what my purpose is, to just try to tell the story on different types of things with Kenosha that gives everybody on all sides, I don't really give a fuck what side people are on, what actually happened. You know, I think the specifically the residents of Kenosha need to know, you know, but the world needs to know. I mean, this was all over the world, this case. So, but you know, by doing that, you know, that's why I said in the email, like, I appreciate like some of the shit you've gone through with what you've done, like with the whole Trump stuff and whatever, where it's like, you know, me releasing these types of articles, and before I had all my platforms shut down, you know, I get harassed on a daily basis. I get death threats. You know, my kids are fucking threatened. And I get it. It's part of the job, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Have you ever heard of? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's fucking shitty. Many people get death threats who are actually doing good. You know, the one person at least that I know doesn't get death threats is Kyle. People just talk shit to him, but he thinks he's like under threat. I gotta ask you a question. Have you ever heard of a Facebook page called Kenosha County Scanner?
Yeah.
Who runs that?
I'm not exactly sure the person that's behind that.
Is that Mathewson?
I don't think it's Mathewson. I've not heard anything that it would be him. I'm not 100% sure. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities because Mathewson has a lot of aliases, and I mean he's basic. Mathewson likes to use his PI license to obtain information that wouldn't otherwise be public, and then either use an alias to disseminate that info or find one of his stupid, loyal fucking followers, and then he gives it to them and they disseminate it, and people start getting doxxed. And I mean, Mathewson is, he's done the same shit with me. He's threatened to kill me via his, one of his aliases. um but I don't
Because
know
Kyle,
exactly who runs that.
so that's who Kyle was following about the protests. That's who Kyle sent pictures to Kenosha County scanner when he was standing on the roof with his gun. He said, "There's people on roofs with guns," and the person responded, "Good." That's how Kyle learned about cleaning graffiti, was because they put up some message on their Facebook page that said, "We're looking for patriots to clean graffiti at the high school," and that's how Kyle knew about that. That's why he took a screenshot of that. But Kyle was in contact with that person talking about being on roofs way back in May with guns. Like, he literally sent a message that said that there's guys on roofs with guns. Like, that's what he messaged, and he looks like he's a fucking baby, and that person said, "Good." Right, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I can.
All those messages. Yeah.
I can ask around since you brought that up. I mean, I know the page is like there's some credible shit that they do post, but then there's stuff that's not, right? So like they just posted, like they just found a dead body in the river out there in Kenosha, and the page had posted, which they claim came from the scanner, that there was a headless, like basically a fucking torso in the river, and like the information was not accurate. So there's some stuff they post that's good. There's some stuff they post that's not good. I can ask around and see if I can figure out who that is that runs that page. It's never been on like the top of my list before.
Well, they talk all the time in fucking instant messages or DMs, right? So whoever running that page was like propping Kyle up and making him feel like he was helping.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's good info. I'll definitely look into that for sure. Definitely.
And then maybe ask him, what messages, what communication did you have with Kyle Rittenhouse before the shooting in Kenosha? And let them try to deny it. Because I'll send you the picture that Kyle messaged them, said people on roofs with guns. That's what I would do. I would fucking hit them up and be like, "Hey, what kind of communication?" Let them say nothing.
All right. Yeah, whatever you have from him. Let me ask you one last question. I'll let you go. Do you know if Kyle had direct communication with Mathewson, since we're talking about him?
No. I don't. But also, like, I don't think Kyle really knew anything about the Kenosha Guard page. At least he didn't follow it. Not saying he didn't visit it. But again, none of that came out in the Facebook stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the messages that weren't found, with like Kyle's mom telling her told him, "Do not go to Kenosha, come right home," and that him lying, turning off his location and going, things like that. Like those are all decisions he made, and he made them in concert, with Dominic. But they also say, that Kyle went down there to work. Like, there's pictures of Kyle that he took driving his car in Kenosha the night before, right? Like, he had every intention of going there with his gun. That was part of the buildup. He's driving around Kenosha when he was supposed to be at work. He's there's pictures of him driving around Kenosha wearing body armor with his rifle
Jesus Christ.
when he was supposed to be at work. Right? It's just, I didn't sign up to be part of this fucking conspiracy bullshit, right? And have some fucking kid that lied to me all of a sudden go out and use his platform to be a total fucking cocksucker, right? Fuck him.
Yeah.
I got no patience for that shit. And so, yeah. I gotta run too, but I'll holler at you tomorrow or the next day. Where you can get the information for some of this other stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Send me everything that you can, and then we'll touch base for sure.
Okay.
Awesome,
All right,
Dave.
brother. Good talking to you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet, man.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.